The world's most corrupted generals is the Pakistani Generals, investigators in report says. The recent leak of data from Credit Suisse, an investment banking firm registered in Switzerland which implicated the former ISI chief, General Actor Abdul Rahman Khan, has again brought to light the extent to which greed and corruption run amok in the Pakistan army, especially among its generals, a report said on Friday. General Rahman had reportedly helped funnel billions of dollars in cash and other aid from the United States and other countries to the Mujahideen in Afghanistan to support their fight against the Soviet Union in the 1980s. These leaked documents only touch the tip of the iceberg as far as how much the top generals of the Pakistan army skimmed in the name of the holy war against the Soviet occupation of Afghanistan, the New York Times said. The report asserted that the motto of the Pakistan Army officers seems to be "greed is good." There are innumerable scandals and sordid stories of the financial bungling, bribery, extortion, influence peddling by serving and retired generals for personal profit. There are also reports of their involvement in smuggling rackets and narcotics trafficking. In fact, in the 1990s, then Army Chief Mirza Aslam Beg and the ISI Chief Asad Durrani proposed to start their own narcotics business to fund the jihad against India and in Afghanistan, as also other parts of the world, the report said, citing a Washington Post article. It is suspected that many Pakistani generals and bureaucrats have had secret Swiss bank accounts, with some of these accounts getting closed later because the money was either moved elsewhere or invested in business or property, the report said, citing the example of General Rahman's sons, who are one of the richest families in Pakistan with vast business interests. The report enlists several examples of scandals and corrupt deals that the Pakistani generals have been involved in over the past few years, including running extortion networks and protecting and partaking in smuggling networks in Balochistan, leasing out government properties at extremely low prices, and even taking bribes in defense deals. The corruption reaches the highest levels of the army, with former Army Chief General Ashfaq Kiani's brothers involved in a multi-billion rupee housing scandal in Islamabad. A Quetta Corps commander, Lieutenant General Hassan Salim Bajwa, gained notoriety as General Papa Jones or General Pizza after an expose of how his family had invested tens of millions of dollars in the Papa Jones pizza chain in the United States of America, and his sons were given lucrative contracts when his general was serving as the head of the ISPBR. Despite the furore, no action, not even an inquiry, was ordered. The report also highlighted that it is not as if the generals of Pakistan Army are underpaid and hence incentivized to be corrupt. A 3-star general in the Pakistan Army retires as a billionaire in Pakistani rupees as the Pakistani state gives concessional plots, both commercial and residential, and also huge grants of agricultural land. Officers of other ranks also get the goodies from the state. A former Army Chief, Raheel Sharif, was allotted over 100 acres of prime agricultural land on the outskirts of Lahore after his retirement. This was in addition to all his other entitlements, while another former chief and dictator, General Pervez Musharraf, built nearly 30 properties, including fancy farmhouses, luxury apartments in the Middle East and London, and houses in Karachi and other Pakistani cities, the report says. The sordidness that exists in the Pakistan Army is no secret, and yet the army hath painted itself as a knight in shining armor that is ever ready to sacrifice everything for the sake of the country. The report says, adding that the corruption is hardly surprising as the state of Pakistan does not have an army. The Pakistan Army has a state. December 15, Asian Light leaked tax records of Pakistan's former Chief of Army Staff General Qamar Javed Bajwa's family, reveal that all of them became billionaires during his tenure as the country's army chief. According to a report in Asian Light, the leaked tax records do not come as a surprise since corruption runs deep in the Pakistan Army. The recent revelations only reinforce the view of the rot within the Pakistan Army. The report says that even though Pakistan's senior generals and officers have been at the receiving end of state largesse in the form of fat salaries and other perks, they still act in a corrupt fashion that does not behove a military force. The details of the Bajwa family's financial dealings were revealed by the Pakistani website Fast Focus. The report included the dealings of Bajwa's wife Aisha Amjad and his son's wife Manor Sabir. The report claimed that the Bajwa's family members had acquired assets amounting to Pakistani rupees 12.7 billion during Bajwa's term as Pakistan's Chief of Army Staff. The assets of his wife, Aisha Amjad, went from zero in 2016 to Pakistani rupees 2.2 billion declared and known in 6 years. From getting his sister-in-law Asma Bajwa the position of a highly paid human resource consultant for the national airline to helping his 70-year-old brother retain a cushy Pakistan International Airlines PIA job in the United Kingdom. There is so much that Bajwa must answer for, according to a report in Asian Light. According to Asian Light, one aspect of Pakistan's current situation is corruption within its army. As Lord Acton once said, power corrupts and corrupts. Absolutely, that is the lesson learned from the story of General Bajwa's family becoming wealthy overnight, the report said. Now that Bajwa's blue-eyed boy, the new General Asif Munir, is appointed as Pakistan's army chief, it will be business as usual with no heads rolling for the rampant corruption plaguing the Pakistani army. Financial mishandling, corruption, and influence peddling by generals for personal gain have been the subject of several scandals in Pakistan, media reports have said. At the beginning of this year, data leaked from Credit Suisse, an investment banking firm registered in Switzerland, revealed information about 600 accounts linked to 1,400 Pakistani citizens. Account holders included several key corrupted politicians and generals, including the former ISI chief, General Actor Abdur Rahman Khan. Exposed like this coming out is nothing new. It has been well known for a long. We also know the case of a Pakistani general who fled from Pakistan and opened a chain of Pizza Huts in the United States of America. So it's nothing new, said Hussein Haqqani, the political expert and the former ambassador of Pakistan to the United States of America. On 27 August 2016, an article titled Lust for Land was published in the Pakistani newspaper Dawn that exposed the reality of multiplying defense societies and the Pakistani army's insatiable hunger for land. Several other reports from Pakistan have claimed that the Pakistani army is using government land to fulfill commercial interests. In Pakistan, there is rule of law for the civilians but not for the Pakistani military's generals. You can say that Pakistan doesn't have an army. The Pakistani army has a state. That's why the Pakistani generals aren't accountable for their corruptions in Pakistan. But for the others, there is a law that should be faced. We have a good example of former Prime Minister Imran Khan, who sold his gifted watch by Saudi prince and spoke about the corruptions of Army Chief General Bajwa. Now he is in jail in several fake cases charged on him.
जो लोग कहते हैं ना कि नहीं दुनिया बदल गई है और पाकिस्तान में बाहर चला नहीं लग सकता, तो मैं मजबूरी के आलम में उनको ये कहता हूँ, यार आप सही कहते हैं दुनिया बदल गई है लेकिन पाकिस्तान नहीं बदला.
The military generals are doing corruption 75 years and occupied upon all the mines and other assets of the country. For the army there is no constitution and the rule of law. The constitution and rule of law are just for the civilians in Pakistan, which must be followed only by the civilians, not by the military officials in Pakistan.
इनके खिलाफ हम कार्रवाई कर सकेंगे और जब तक जो आइन तोड़ता है उसको सजा नहीं मिलेगी, जाहिर है कि मांगेगा.
Some analyzers and politicians says that Pakistan isn't a country, it's a project of Great Britain to destabilize the Central Asian countries. British government is creating two countries for destabilizing the Arab world and Central Asian countries. One of them is Israel and other is Pakistan. Both are the Great Britain strategic projects, which seem to be true recently in destabilization. Pakistan is active in implementing of destabilization project in Afghanistan and in the Central Asian countries. That's why all the Afghans hates Pakistan, and not counting Pakistan as a good neighbor country to Afghanistan. And other Israel state is active in the implementation of destabilization project in Palestine, and others Palestine's neighbors Arab countries in Africa. In the war on terror in Afghanistan, the Pakistani generals received billions of dollars aids from the United States of America and played double game with the United States of America in the war on terror. Instead, fighting with militants provided a safe haven to Al-Qaeda's leader Osama bin Laden in Abbottabad city, very close to military base, and the Taliban's senior leaders in Quetta city, Balochistan, and Peshawar city of KPK in Pakistan.
We are killing terrorists. The next pillar of our new strategy is to change the approach and how to deal with Pakistan. We can no longer be silent about Pakistan's safe havens for terrorist organizations.
And launch several fake operations in the federally administered tribal areas, so that these infamous generals could easily steal and misuse billions of American-aided dollars. And once again, they could run their businesses on the blood of innocent Pashtuns, which is in front of everyone today.
और आपको ये पता होना चाहिए कि जब वॉर ऑन टेरर हुई और जो पाकिस्तान की मिट्टी पलीत हुई दुनिया में, कि हमारे क्या जी फौज दोगली है, क्योंकि तब मुशर्रफ का मार्शल लॉ था, ये हमारे से झूठ बोलती है, करती कुछ है, कहती कुछ है, डॉलर्स हमारे से लेती है और दोगली गेम खेलती है.
Federally administered tribal areas consists of 7 agencies, including Bajor, Momen, Orakzai, Khyber, Kurram, North Waziristan, and South Waziristan. Provincially administered tribal areas of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa includes the districts of Swat, Upper and Lower Dire, Banir, and Shangla. The Pakistan Army has used heavy ground and air weapons during the operations. That has also resulted in enormous collateral damage. In operations, killed and arrested thousands of innocent Pashtuns, including women and children. 1,000 Pashtuns are missing and yet not released by the army. The destruction of houses, commercial markets, and educational institutions as a result of these operations. The Pakistani corrupted generals received $750 million over 5 years, 2007 up to 2011, from the United States of America for sustainable development in the federally administered tribal areas FATA. But corrupted military generals of Pakistan of Army has used all the fund in their own built-up businesses to buy private island, commercial plots, houses abroad. Pakistani military's generals are doing business by create militants in region. Mansur Pashtun, the young tribesman rattling Pakistan's army, he said in interview with BBC Pashto on 23 April 2018 that the Pakistani state promoted militancy. It used Islam as a motivating factor, he says. These are not my words. These are the words of Colonel Imam, a former ISI operative who said he trained 95,000 youth, or the words of then Army Chief Pervez Musharraf, who said, "We trained them. We brought mujahideen from all over the world, and they were our heroes."
हम मुजाहिदीन लाए पूरी दुनिया से, हमने तालिबान को ट्रेन किया, उन्हें वेपन्स दिए, उनको अंदर भेजा, वो हमारे हीरो थे. ठीक है, ये जो हक्कानी है, हीरो है हमारा जी.
When it suits them to bomb us, they'll bomb us. When it suits them to send us rations, they'll send us rations. When it suits them to set our people to kill others, they will train them and facilitate them, Mansur Pashtun says. Waziristan is their captured territory. It took us tribals 30 years to find out that we fought the Russians not for Islam, but for American money. A country whose army chief is involved in corruption cannot develop economically, and today we are seeing the results in Pakistan, which cannot pay its dues to the IMF, and day by day sinking into debt. This situation cannot be solved by increasing taxes on the common citizen, but can be controlled by reducing the army budget and recovering and returning the looted wealth of corrupt generals from Swiss banks. Now this country doesn't belong to Pakistanis, breathing in the hands of the IMF, and the country will never get out of IMF debts, and is very close to bankruptcy. Outsiders also know the reason for this, and some Pakistanis themselves also know who sunk the real fleet of Pakistan. Corrupt army generals. Country is not important for Pakistani army generals. Bank balance and overseas business, properties, and luxury life are very important for their life after retirement. I think it is reckless to expect better from slave generals. These are not patriotic generals. Pakistani citizens need to understand this, that they are not slaves of corrupt generals. They desperately need leaders like Imran Khan and Mansour Pashtun to fight against these corrupted and enslaved generals. If Pakistani people want a free democratic country without debt, begging and financial crisis, a country does not develop through fear and slavery. A free nations are developed in the country. The people of Pakistan are requested to please support Imran Khan and his party Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf (PTI). He is not corrupted and is an honest leader to his country, thinking for the positive changes and for the bright future of Pakistan. Thank you for the watching. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe the channel for the upcoming new videos.